say that it feels right.
What's up guys, it's the Blender, and today I wanted to show you my fastest Netrunner Atom Smasher kill. I've got two methods. One is more consistent, one is less consistent, but faster. And the second is the one that I used in my 4-minute, 18-second Netrunner Don't Fear the Reaper run, right? Which you can see on the channel. As you can see, I'm not set up here for a Tetronic Rippler, right? But method number one should work with a Tetronic Rippler. It would even be a little bit better, right, because it would have a little bit more upload speed, but it should work just fine, right, because of the way it does. And what I'm going to do, and let me know in the comments if you like this format, right, is I'm going to explain exactly how it does. So I'm going to do two explanations, one for method 1 and one for method 2, right? I'm going to showcase them and explain what's going on and how they're happening, or what I'm doing as I do them. All right, and then when we're finished with those, I'll put up the videos that just showcase them at their fastest I've been able to acquire them, and in doing so, that should also give you guys the ability to skip to those if you don't care about the explanations and you just want to see it in action, or you want to try to recreate it yourself without understanding the ins and outs of what's going on. So without further ado, let's get into method 1. So method 1 is built around memory wipe, right, and optical camo, right? You need both of them, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to memory wipe him, and then we're going to crouch, and we're going to get into optical camo. Now we have to get close to him to memory wipe him, right? So here we're going to do this. We're going to memory wipe, optical camo, and crouch. We do that, and what just happened is even if we take the hit, right, we had to get him close to memory wipe him, right? Optical camo goes off, so he loses us, and then his memory wipe is still loaded on here. Now if we stay standing up, he will know where we are even in optical camo. We have to get the crouch. So ideally we get the memory wipe off just a little earlier, and he does this. Now it doesn't matter if he runs that way, because once the memory wipe comes up, he's going to come back here, right? And now we just follow him, right? Because while the memory wipe happens, he doesn't realize who we are, and then we come here. We have takedown available. We're gonna overload, overclock, detonate grenade, 3 cyberware malfunctions, and then queue up the takedown immediately. What this does is basically what happens is the takedown has now been initiated, right? So he has to go through that animation, right? And that animation will then prevent any of this damage from going off at the time that it happens, right? Cyberware malfunction does a little bit of damage, right? But detonate grenade does 50% of his health, and it's basically hard-coded to do that. So you can't one-shot him anymore. You can just phase skip him, right? And it's designed that if you were to run around and fight him, he would be out of grenades by the time, mid-fight. You wouldn't be able to utilize them. He'd have to wait for them to regen. It'd be sort of weird to figure out when he had grenades and be able to blow them up, right? So it's sort of meant as a first phase 50% nuke, right? That gets you to the bottom 50%, and then maybe you synapse burnout into the into the 30%, right? Then you have to wait out his invulnerability phase again, and then you pop him again, get him to the 5% and go, right? But we know that you can phase skip by doing enough damage within certain windows, and so what happens here is the takedown is preventing that damage from going off, but his health isn't at 100%, right? Or it's at 100% now, it's not at 50%. So he has to finish this animation. When that animation happens, he'll be at an automatic 50% from the takedown, and then it's going to let the detonate grenade go off for the other 50%. He's hard-coded not to go to 0, because he can't. He has to go to 5%, and you have to finish that. But because we phase skip all the way to 5%, we never get ads, even though he's here. right? And we never get the other things. If you do this in a different order, where you like, say you detonate grenade and then memory wipe him while you're close, it's very possible. You can queue them both up and then just shoot him to detonate one and then the other, right? He will stay here, and then you can get the takedown. But when he hits 5%, for whatever reason, the game thinks that he's initiated the ads, but it doesn't have the health to initiate the ads, and the memory wipe went off, right? During that point, so he didn't do his ad phase, so he ends up as 5% invulnerable, unkillable. You'll have to reset. So you have to do it in this order in order to make sure that it happens simultaneously, to go from 100 to basically 100 to 0 or 100 to 5 in this case, right? And then the only thing left is for us to finish off the last 5% of his health. In the Netrunner setup that I have, where I don't have Salt in the Wound, I'm not based around assault rifles or anything like that. I don't have those things in my repertoire here, right? I am specifically created this character as a Netrunner who happened to use the Paraline because I like shooting things, and in favor of speed for a speed run of Arasaka Tower, I chose the Paraline even for a pure Netrunner build, right? And in doing so, right, like we could sort of like speed that up. But because we don't have that extra, we queue up the other cyberware malfunctions. Now, due to his resistance to hacking, I think 2 of these cyberware malfunctions will go off after the animation, which means I get the buff from at least 1, if not 2 cyberware malfunctions, which allows me to one-clip kill the last 5% of his health with my Yinglong. If I don't have those, it's dependent on like weak point. Is there a weak point available? Do I get the right amount of headshots? Right? I may have to reload or switch weapons. Right? If I just put up the cyberware malfunctions, I don't have that problem. So now he goes off. It says 50, but it doesn't calculate it, and he's gone. Now the detonate grenade, and it's over. Right? So because we did it that way, right? That kills him just outright, right? We skipped all of the ads. The ads don't ever even show up, right? And he never had to leave sort of like here, this area. If we do that properly and we don't get, he doesn't come out and he smacks us and we get the memory wipe a little earlier, he doesn't run up the steps this far. He comes down here, right? And he does that, but sometimes it can be sort of iffy as to when he registers, when you're out of combat or when he's out of combat. So sometimes he'll become available at this corner for takedown, sometimes he's available at this corner for takedown, but at least in this method he basically walks, slow walks. He doesn't really do this sprint function. That can be kind of annoying to deal with, but it is one that you generally have to deal with in method number 2. Speaking of method number 2, we'll do a brief explanation of it as it goes. We are going to delete this save, and we are going to explain this. Now, as we load in, the basics of method number 2 is we are going to do the exact same that we're doing with method number 1. However, we are going to pre-set up our ability to shoot him while memory wipe is uploaded on him, right, in order to make it happen faster. And we must use a gun that cannot in any way apply an effect, right? Because we could use the Yinglong, right? But it does electrical damage, has a chance to shock. If he gets shocked, right, when we go into stealth, he takes 1 tick of shock damage. While we're in stealth, it breaks the whole thing. If he takes 1 tick of any type of dot damage after memory wipe has gone off and after we are in stealth, it does not matter. He knows where we are and he comes running for us, right? It basically kills the memory wipe function, right? So we have to have pick your favorite. Maybe you like the Shingen better, right? It is pretty good, pretty solid at causing hack uploads. So maybe this is a better option. I just enjoy the Deanne, right? And I just grabbed the craft spec, made this one have 2, I think, what are they, the head loppers or whatever it is, right, for lock-on speed, so that I can just pray and spray to this guy and basically force the memory wipe to happen quickly, right? Now, the way I do that is with baiting his melee, right? So if you've seen my Berserker build, I bait his melee in that, I bait his melee here. We pre-pot, right, for the extra damage that we will get eventually, right? But we want to move forward, bait his melee, counter it, while uploading memory wipe, and then we're going to shoot him with the non-effect causing weapon. And to cause the memory wipe to upload faster, we are going to not stealth in this one, or not optical camo in this one. We will just crouch, right? And then similar to like how when the memory wipe happened and he ran back to us, right? And he didn't see us even though we weren't in optical camo. We're using that same mechanic to save our optical camo so we can follow him if he does do the sprint up to the second level. If he doesn't, we're even more happy. That'll be even faster. But if he does do the sprint, we have optical camo so that we can dash behind him, cause him to look for us, but not find us. So let's see how that pans out. We come up, memory wipe, we pull this, block, crouch. Now he doesn't know where we are. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He does that. We're going to optical camo. Come up here. He's available for... Oh, I messed it up and overclocked and then canceled my overclock. How terrible am I? It was perfect. It was perfect. Up until I screwed it up. I pre-overclocked and killed my overclock. That's awesome. Alright, so we're going to do that again. So we'll go over it one more time. We're gonna early potion for Juggernaut stuff. We're gonna bait his melee, counter it, use that time to shoot while we have as we have uploaded the memory wipe, causing the memory wipe to go off sooner. When it goes off, we will crouch as soon as that happens, so that we are out of combat, and then follow him with camo. So we come up here, memory wipe, come here. And done. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. He should go here and run. When he runs, we come here. And we'll go like this. And go detonate grenade. Put that up. He's up for takedown. And now we get to do the exact same combo that we did before. To finish him off. Now we have a weak spot on his ankle. So we'll just pop that. And it's over. So that's method number 2. Slowed down. I will add the quick videos, right, or the videos of them happening live, right, on timer. I'll add those to the end of the video. Feel free to watch them if you like, or skip them if you don't. They're more for people who didn't want to go through the whole explanations. And then I hope this was informative. I hope this helps you kill Smasher in 2.1. I will also show that these are all of the stuff that I do is on very hard, right? Very hard. All of my runs are very hard, level 60, right? So he is as beefy as he gets, right? Like I think he's got something like, I think they guess that he has like 250k health, right? And we melt him, right? I've got him down to 8 seconds or under 8 seconds on my Berserker build. We've got him down to like 25 seconds on Netrunners, Netgunners. And we're going to see in the future what other builds we can get going. So if you have suggestions, leave them in the comments. If you have questions, leave them in the comments. And hopefully these help you and you get to use these tactics in your own runs. So with that, I'm going to play the other 2 videos, and I hope you have a great day.
Smasher. Hold. And smasher. Interesting. You're over. Hold! Hands! You killed Oda! God, what?
Johnny Silverhand sent